Hello, my friends, and it's been a long time since I've done this, but welcome back to the Tenkai Talk. Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually done this, and the last time I've actually done this, it was sometime last year in 2019. That was the last. I forgot which month it was when I actually did a Tenkai Talk video. But we're gonna do something different. For as far as the channel is concerned, and as far as this somewhat of a channel update type of video is concerned, we're not going to talk about anything regarding news or anything like that because, first off, this is not a news channel. Second off, there's too much going on out there as we speak, and really, my channel is not about a reminder of how terrible the world is, but as you can tell, my channel is that of a gaming channel. It's a variety channel in which I show various different types of games from various different types of consoles. And so that is the course that we are going to take with Tenkai Talk. We're not going to focus on the world because we know what's going on in the world. We're kind of sick of it and we don't want to hear about it until until we go back into the office and we have to hear the same shit over and over and over again. So, if you hear my stomach growling, it's actually purring because I just finished eating some fries from yesterday because I had fish for dinner the other night. And, well, since today is Groundhog Day, besides it being the Super Bowl, yes, today is Groundhog Day. Now, I'm not, for one, giving two rits about the Super Bowl because, A, I got an alternative, and B, that alternative is going to be something I'm going to be going out early to get and be ready for when I get back. Most notably, when I watch something, it'll be like around 3 or so. But I don't know. Considering that it's Sunday and I usually get my assignments, well, that might not change. Or it might change. I don't know. So, let's get down to brass tacks, shall we? First off, projects that we got. Okay, first and foremost, since this is February, there is one thing that I can care less for, and is what February means. And what it's going to mean for the next couple of days with what's going to happen with our new project Let's Play. You see, the new project Let's Play will be crazy. It will be funny. It will have me at my worst, but doing my best. And that is Galgun, Double Peace. Now, mind you, I finished the game at least, twice, and I'm already on my third run of it. Which is basically, there are multiple routes you can take on this one game, but I'm only going to do 3, even though in one of my videos that I say it's over after this, it's not really over. Oh no. If I gotta do it all the way through, I'm gonna do it all the way through by doing only 3 endings. Because it just makes sense. So, therefore, you're gonna get you're gonna get some Galgun in your life. And February's theme is attack on singles awareness. If I actually have my, never mind, I do. I was gonna say if I have my JEDI, my Japanese English Dictionary. Well, let's see. I'm looking for the word of single. Because right now it's basically it is what it is, and I need to know what it is in Japanese. Okay. Hmm. Parahipotsu. Dokushin. Okay, so we got dokushin. And we're looking for the word awareness. Shinchiki no dokushin. Yes, I am actually looking this up as we speak. I haven't seen this in a long time. I thought I lost it. Shite. Tokushin shite. Mm. Yeah, tokushin shite. Okay. Because awareness doesn't mean you know, so you're conscious or knowing. Kizuite. Tokushin kizuite. Shinjeki. No, shingeki. Shingeki no tokushin kizuite. I guess we'll go with that. So yeah, this month is going to be attack on singles awareness. Shingeki no Dokushin Kizuite. There we go. So this month, yeah, because most of the group are basically single, except for me. Aside from that, the only reason why I say attack on singles awareness is because the simple following: you don't need to be miserable if you're single. I mean, there have been plenty of people who actually enjoy being single and they're living the best years of their lives until they decide they want to settle down and get married and have a family and all that. I feel the same way. Even though I personally have somebody, that doesn't mean I can't go out and enjoy myself. And it's the same thing. Yes, stomach. I know it's funny, isn't it? And for what it's worth, I enjoy my life. And what I'm doing as we speak, it's always equaling something better. And that's the one thing we want to be aware of. We want to be better at what we're doing. Whether it's your job or whether it's being on here or maybe, I don't know, maybe it could be something else. It could be something else entirely because, oh, hey, I owe it to myself to make good on what my life is for. And I think that's what we need to remember. Your life is for something. So, therefore, the only thing you can do is do a lot of good for your life. Do something worth your while, worth your time, and all that. Because the way I see it is, exceptions can go suck an egg. The only exception you can do for yourself is, well, making something worse than something better. Of course, that's all the point of free choice. But I think we all want the latter, which is going better than worse. Because we all know in marriage, there's that line for better or for worse. You always want to aim for the latter, which is the better, never the worse. The situation could be that, but in this case, isn't life like that? For better or for worse? I mean, you're always going to take the good with the bad, so don't focus on the bad all the time. It's not a good thing for you. It's very unhealthy, and therefore, just don't do it. I have friends who basically sometimes they have a day, or or they they had a day. We all had a day. Even me last night, I had a night. I mean, after my friends left, I was on 14 for a while. I was doing some level grinding in dungeons, and for some reason, I wasn't doing so hot until basically after gaining a few levels and trying my damnedest to hold my own in whatever dungeon I feel like going into. Oh hey, I finally reached my cap. At least in the first set of the game that I'm in, I'm reaching most of my caps there. And if I need to, I want extra jobs, I can always go and do extra jobs. But then again, I'm a Melius. I'm not a caster. I'm a Melius / shootist. So if I want another job, I can always get another job. Or in this case, another class. Other than what I already have. But the whole point of that is I want to be better. I want to be in a better state than I was previously. And it's the same thing with this video. The whole point of this is just to be better. You're not out there just there are people out there who have it worse than you. And they feel that, oh, if you had a companion, that would make things a whole lot better. But there's a thing called 50-50. 50-50 is what it is. You have 50% shot of having someone who will support you, and that other 50 can go the opposite way real quickly. But the thing is, you want to take a chance, so hey, you gotta take a chance. But the one thing you shouldn't do is talk down about yourself. I mean, the one thing I never do on my videos is I never get too personal. I get personal, but only to a respectable level. If I do get a little too personal, I must apologize for it. There have been times that I wasn't myself, but when it comes down to it, it is what it is. I've been through a lot of shit myself, and just like anybody else, I had to deal with it. And I've become a better man for it. The thing about now, and like I said, this goes with channels. Like I said, this all is being put together as a channel video. As far as what I have already done, I have about 2 borderline 3. I'm saying borderline 3 because even though I have 2 already done, there might be a third that I might do for, say, March, but I'm not sure if I want to go through with it or not. So therefore, it all depends on how the next session of recording is going to be. But, like I said, I'm still I'm still dropping parts of Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth on the channel, and most times, I I really I'm really enjoying that game. Cause you know why? And I mentioned this before. This is my first Digimon game that I ever played through. And even though I've been requested to do another one, I feel, in the interest of fairness, that in the way of storytelling, it tells a better story than Pokemon, because it doesn't focus on the usual. You go on this adventure, you get your starter, you go on this journey to get 6 badges, go to the top of the I'm gonna call the tournament champions. You got to fight your way through the last leg of your journey, which reaches to the tournament of champions, and only the best of the best can get there. And in order to be the best of the best, you have to beat the best of the best. Really, really, Pokemon is just basically that. You have to beat the best of the best. Thank you, Facebook, for letting me know. Facebook is letting me know. Oh, you want to promote your channel? I promote my channel more by my videos because I have Facebook and Twitter I use for my social media to share. Mainly I use Twitter for what's going on as far as fan translations and voice over news are concerned. Whether there's a convention going on in my neck of the woods, to saying whatever is out there in the fan translation community that I can just get off of romhacking.net. Basically, I'm doing both, and at the same time, what I'm doing on the side is I'm getting to know my bookworm side a little more. Yes. One thing I am going back to doing is reading novels. And I have a couple of novels that I have. Excuse me. I have a couple of novels that I'm in process of reading and starting up again. One is The Record of Love's War by Ryo Mizuno. The book is actually entitled Record of Love's War: The Great Witch. So I am actually reading that on the side when I'm not doing Let's Plays or playing Final Fantasy 14. I'm actually doing that. I'm going back into reading. That's a good thing. That's always a good thing. Another series that I plan on reading in my spare time is Space Pirate Captain Harlock. Now, everybody knows about Captain Harlock. If you haven't, you should go and read Ginga Tetsudo 39 and Queen Esmeralda's. Because Leiji Matsumoto, if you don't know, created all 3 of that. Well, 4, because you got the Galaxy Railways. So you got Galaxy Express 39, Galaxy Railways, Captain Harlock, and Queen Esmeralda's. So that's not a bad haul. I've been wanting to actually find if there was. I'm pretty sure there is a hard copy of Queen Esmeralda's, but not in my area, and I haven't even prepared myself for AX yet. A lot to prepare for. That's per se. No, I'm not going. I'm not going in cosplay. Everybody else is going in cosplay. No, I'm going as me. I find that so funny because there are people that are just religiously addicted to cosplay, and they can't wait until say June to show it off. It's either June or July that we usually have Anime Expo that comes in our neck of the woods, and the same goes with Comic Con, which which used to be which was formerly a Stan Lee event, but now it stands alone. But they do remember Stan Lee every year, and that's where I go sometimes as well. If I don't go to if I don't go to Comic Con, I go to AX. If I go to AX, I might as well go to Comic Con later that year. It's about maybe three, borderline 4 months apart. Because, like I said, it's either in July or June that AX AX falls under. Because it either is at the end of June and goes into July, or it goes straight into July. As for Comic Con, that goes in October. So I don't know if they're going the same route, like September into October, or just straight October. But it's like 2 days, whereas Anime Expo is only 4. So I only go 3 of the 4 days, whereas I go to Comic Con, I go on probably 1 or 2 days, all things depending. So another thing, aside from everything else, aside from my plans for what I'm going to do in the future, like I said, I already told you what kind of I have 3 projects in tow, with a couple I plan on finishing and doing and starting up. I have 2 already done in backlog. One I'm still working with, and that might be in either March or April. I'm leaning towards March into April because it is quite a long Let's Play. It is a funny Let's Play. And plus, the entire time, it's like a part of me is just really enjoying this game for all it's worth. That is one of the few games that I plan to unleash in March into April. No, I don't think so. Facebook, that's good and all, but no, I'm not interested, man. Anyway, another thing I also got planned for the next couple of days. While I got this going on and this going on, like I said, I have mainly started up Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. And anybody who knows what that entails, yeah, y'all know. Y'all know exactly what's going to happen, so I'm just going to give you a heads up. That will not start until, say, after the first week of February. Posting of that will not start until after, say, the second week of February starts. That's when I start posting that. Let's see what else I also got. Yeah, I also got an old classic that I did when I first started my channel, and that was back in, let's say, July. That was July. Yeah, okay, July 2010. Good Lord, it's been 10 years already. serious. It's like when I started doing, when I started building on my channel, that was when I first started, like in June into July. I actually started doing playthroughs, and then a little after, I became a Let's Player. A little after the first year of doing like multiple playthroughs, so I decided to go into my backlog and I looked into some of my other files I have. Like I do have a hacks file that I'm looking at, and the thing I saw was a game I did way back when YouTube was doing 15-minute videos. Everybody remembers 15-minute videos. 10 to 15 minutes was the max you could do. Oh, the joys of doing those parts, and they were like 15. They were 15 some odd minutes. Well, recently found out that one of the games that I did actually had an updated version of it, an updated translation patch of it, rather, and you saw it on my channel, and it's called Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon Another Story. And if you go way back in the archives, I did that as a playthrough, and that was like one of the longest playthroughs I've ever done on my channel. Because I could tell you right now, I'm always going to have that one playthrough that's going to just like eke out more than just your standard 30-40 parts. Sailor Moon was one of them. The second was Super Robot Tyson J. The third is Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. Because, like I said, I can see it's going to branch into, say, 80 to borderline 90 parts. Because I still have the trials, the Royal Knight trials to do, and after that, I'll be able to, say, digivolve my party into partial Royal Knights. If that's the case, guess what? There's going to be a lot of grinding to do. But, you know, I'm cutting through that because, well, I don't do grinding on camera. But I find time to do the grinding off camera when I unlock the path to the Royal Knights. Because the good thing about Digimon Story is how it works. You got story, then you got side quests. You do story first, and then the side quest differently, and it tells you do the side quest. Do the side quest because you'll benefit from it. I like that. I don't usually see a game series that actually tells you to do the side quest so it benefits you. Other than 14, I've never played a game that basically demands you do the side quest because you'll get something out of it. It's opposite of Tales because, oh hey, there's a side quest. You don't have to do it if you want to, but it's best if you do it anyway. I played plenty of games that had side quests, but it's like side quests. Sailor Moon is another one of those games that basically the side quest is a part of the story that you have to do, but it's a good benefit because by the end, if you've done it right, you'll get a big bonus from it. I'll explain that when I get into another story. And that's what the Let's Play will be called, Sailor Moon Another Story. It won't be called Bishojo Senshi Sailor Moon Another Story. No, it'll just be called Sailor Moon Another Story. Yeah, I forgot. I got a couple of PSP games. mainly some I picked up mainly downloads, and you've already seen it on my channel. Some in which you've heard of, some in which you have not heard of, and some that leaves you thinking why. So, I did get three certain titles that will kind of make sense when I get into March or April. These three titles have three certain characters you all know and love. One is Ultraman. The second, Kamen Rider. The third would happen to be the lineup of Super Robot Taisen. I'll explain them in order as we get to them. But yeah, I do have one game that is a Kamen Rider fighting game. It's called Kamen Rider Super Climax Heroes, and that's basically with the Showa, Heisei, and Neo Heisei lineup. So if you don't know what the Showa lineup was, it was from 79. Yeah, no, 71. That's not even 71, but it was from Kamen Rider 1 to the movie Riders. Or in this case, the last rider during that time frame would be Black RX. So from Kamen Rider 1 to Black RX. That was pretty much the last Kamen Rider. The movie Riders count as Showa into Heisei. So you had Zeta O, Shin, and J, and that led into Kuga. Then from Kuga to, I think it was either O's or W. Like I said, I have not. I'm trying my best to remember Kamen Rider, but from O's, no, well, from Kuga to, I'm gonna say O's to W, and then no, it wasn't O's. I'm either thinking Wizard or Decade. Because it was like from it's basically Showa to Neo Heisei. Because you had Heisei and then you had Neo Heisei. So it's right before Neo Heisei started, but it's a little after. But it's like right there, right before Neo Heisei really got things really going again with the franchise. And like I said, the other one I have is an Ultraman video game. It is a fighting game in which I've played a couple of times on my own time, and it plays so much better than the old Ultraman games that I remember from on the Super Nintendo. Because Ultraman is like a really sleepy franchise if you really think about it. As far as all the Japanese franchises are concerned, as far as Tokusatsu, that is like the sleepiest franchise ever known. Because just Ultraman is just right there. But he's like Ultraman was the first. I would think Ultraman would have been. Ultraman was first, I think, as far as a successful giant hero was concerned. It was the most successful series by far. Then next was Gridman. And for those who don't know what Gridman is, Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. It was basically adapted from Denko Chojin Gridman. So there you go. The third that, well, everybody should know would be Gundam, but I would say the third in the franchise put together would be Super Robot Tyson, because the game that I'm working on basically is that mashup that creates Kampati Hero, which is comprised of Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and Super Robot Tyson. I would say Super Robot Tyson because it's not just Gundam in there, but it's just those from OG as well, original generation. So technically, the three games I have in backlog that I haven't done yet, but I'm sharing with you anyway, is Ultraman Fighting Evolution, Kamen Rider Super Climax Heroes, and Another Century's Episode Portable, which basically has the known characters from each different version of Super Robot Tyson that you ever heard of, but not the entire lineup, but just notable characters from the series. I mean, it's an alright game. It's not one of those games that basically you can do a let's play of, but it's definitely review material to be sure. Since it's oh yeah, okay. Next thing, since it is February, if you have not seen it around in your neck of the woods, the Sonic movie is officially out, and it is going to drop Valentine's Day. There was another movie that another promo that just recently got dropped as well, and that's a horror version of Fantasy Island, that old show by Aaron Spelling. Yeah, that recently just dropped, and I saw the promo of it not too long ago, a few hours back before deciding to do an update video, this Tenkai talk video rather. So yeah, I didn't really care much for it because it basically is garbage. I mean, that's how I look at horror. That's how I look at horror now. It's like it's garbage. It's basically you don't know what you're doing. You're trying to scare people, but it's like me. I don't do horror games. Big does horror games. I do mystery. I prefer doing mystery over a horror game because horror just does two things to me. It either pisses me off to where I just want to finish the game and not look back, or basically bore me to tears. So that's the reason why if I gotta do something in contrast to that, give me something like mystery, suspense. Give me something like that. But don't say horror. No, if you want horror, go over to Big's channel. He'll hook you up on that. Me? No. You want something different? I got your alternative. I got mystery. I can do detective novel games. I could do, something like, I'm not going to mention what I can do. But I got a few titles in mind that I can do. And with a little cheatery involved and whatnot, it'll be quite enjoyable. Yes, cheatery. Not in the standard means of cheatery by any stretch of the imagination. Just something that'll help me out. Because really, I prefer, if the game is not going to play fair, why should I play fair with the game? No, you don't play fair, you play even. That's what you do. Also, I think as far as what I'm going to do for my lineup of what I usually do for what I do on my channel, if I do any more strategy games, I'm going to do something more akin to Shining Force, because as you can tell, Fire Emblem, I no longer have any footage of me doing Fire Emblem. Plus, I mean, I played Path of Radiance. I never finished Path of Radiance, but oh my god, after what I dealt with like last year, do you really want me to go back to it? I would and would not, because Path of Radiance, as far as that's concerned, no. I'll still do Super Robot Tyson, but Fire Emblem, I'm just gonna back up on that because I should have stuck with my first instinct and said, I do one Fire Emblem game. If I do another, I'm gonna live to regret it, because Fire Emblem has this nasty habit of being very long. And really, it. I mean, if I could do it on Fate of the Emblem of Justice. That's not a problem because it plays just like Shining Force. It's a Shining Force clone. And as you can tell, whatever it is, as far as RPGs, I can do action and I can do a bit of strategy, tactical, but my taste for strategy and tactical are going to be totally different than, say, what I just mentioned. Aside from that, I plan to even out a little bit more on what I normally do as far as the channel is concerned. Like, you see me usually do like 9% RPGs, 10% everything else. I'm going to try to eke back on the RPGs and at least show a little more variety, because there are some people out there who do get bored with RPGs. You get RPG burnout by playing too many RPGs, and I do not want to get RPG burnout. So therefore, I play other games instead, which I have on the PS4. Another thing I plan on doing, you're gonna have to excuse me while I get a sip of Dr. Pepper in, and there goes my top. This is much as I've been talking for quite a while now. So, as I said, what I'm also going to do, as far as the changes are concerned, is do a lot more of the other and raise my ratio from doing 10% to say 15%. Just so I can cut back on doing the 90% RPGs, but just chunk it down to say 85. Make it 85-15. I'm just eking it, because I do have certain types of games I like to play other than RPGs, but I don't usually do them very often because my mind is so oriented on RPGs, because I like to get lost in a good story. That's sort of the beauty of playing an RPG. You get caught up in a good story, and I think that's why I like playing Final Fantasy XIV, because of that one reason. Excuse me. As I was saying, I think that's one reason why I like playing 14. It has a book aspect of the game. It's not like a standard normal RPG. Even though it's an MMO, I like to get myself lost in a good story. And that is like a whole mess of story. And it's not even main story. You don't even have to do main story. You can just go into side quest, side quest, side quest, side quest. And you can get lost in doing side quests. You can get lost in doing dungeons, but you gotta have a real good party when you do dungeons. Because as I mentioned before, there's that small percentage you might get a group of assholes. And let me tell you, when you get a group of assholes, Basically, they will screw you over, and they will have no problem kicking your ass out of the group. And well, that's the reason why I like doing MMOs on my own time, and not say, oh, well, why don't we do an MMO, guys? No, no, we good, we good. I think that's the reason why I just say, you know what, we're not playing Payday, so uninstall. I think I'm gonna do the same thing for 100% Orange Juice. Like, okay, do we need to play Orange Juice? Okay, no, uninstall. Until the need is necessary, I'm just gonna like say, okay, uninstall this. Because I mean, I got a lot of memory I can use for something else than say, oh, hey, this, you got this. Yeah, let's hook you. Aside from that, like I said, there's gonna be some changes. Gonna do something other than my normal standard with doing what I normally do, which is RPGs 90% of the time, 10% everything else. We're going to adjust it to 85-15, which is still just as good as anything else, because 85% RPGs to 85% RPGs and 15% everything else, we're getting there. I mean, it's been 10 years for this channel. About 10 years of me being a Let's Player on this channel. And, well, as you can tell, I've been doing a lot of voice acting work. Nothing per se, anything professional yet, but it is a work in progress. And most times, whenever I'm recording something from my assignments, between what I do behind the scenes, whereas something I do on camera is totally different. Because most times, whenever I'm doing something on camera, I sound nervous, I sound half asleep, or I sound way too jittery. Or maybe I don't sound that way, but sometimes I do have those nights which I do sound jittery, or I'm not speaking right. Like, there are some parts of Digimon story that say, and we find it should be, we find a set of HP bottles, but grammar side and all that shit. Like I said, I'm just doing a Let's Play. I'm just glad I'm getting the parts out. Because the recording is one thing, but when you get it out, oh, that's another thing altogether. That's a different beast altogether. And for those who edit your videos, I salute you for editing your videos. It's just too much work for me to do editing because, oh, hey, if I'm going to grind, I'm just going to do one thing. Cut the video short and spend like 50 to an hour on grinding. And then, of course, save afterwards. Now, for games that I'm possibly going to bring back into the rotation, I am going back to Otaku no Saiza. I don't know when, but possibly, I almost said possibly, it will be after I'm done with, like, say, something I'm already damn near at the end of. And like I said, I mentioned this, but I'm nearly done with my sessions of posting Yakuza 0, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. I've already finished with Tales of Vesperia. And I'm not sure if I'm done with definitely not sure if I'm done with Tokiden Kiwami. I would have to check my backlog. The only game I feel I would have to redo over and be a pain in the ass to do would be Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise, just because I unlocked Premium Adventure. I cannot do the final stage normally, and I've tried it. It basically just blocks you from doing it. So, like I said, whether it's a Sony thing or basically, you can't really do that. You have to unlock this mode in order to do it. I'll just say, you know what, fuck it, I'll play it off. I'll play that all the way off camera. Then when I get to the final dungeon, I'll record from there, and it's like, okay, there you go. Because there are certain games that I would love to play through straight out if they didn't have a PC port to it. If they have a PC port to it, I'm like, okay, that's my back door right then. But Yakuza is one of those series that basically is like that. The new ones anyway. Because I do have 3, I do have 4, and later on this month I will also have 5. I have Kiwami 1 on this, Kiwami 2 online, so I'm going to stream that. 3, 4, 5 are also going to be streamable. 6 is on disc, so there you go. Following that, I plan on doing Shenmue 1 and 2, since that's on disc. Not entirely sure about Shenmue 3. I might wait until the price drops, though, for that one. Whether I do it online, digital, or I pick it up on disc. I'm trying to see how much it costs online to do it, though. But that's beyond saying what I plan to do when we get there. And boy, that's going to take some time when we get there. If you don't know, yeah, I've been really hectically busy, and all this, and I haven't even got my room taken care of. But that goes without saying. When you have very little time to do stuff for yourself, it shows. But being busy is not a bad thing. But sometimes being busy is a bad thing. Because you can be running all over the place and still not get one thing done. But I plan on doing something later today. I doubt I'm going to make another video as far as today is concerned. It's like 53 minutes. Come on now. Think I'm going to be doing a 2-hour video of me talking. You want me to do 2 hours? Oh, hey, watch my Phoenix Wright Let's Play. There you go. The revisited ones? Oh, yeah, those ones are long. Plus, I'm reading a map. Or rather, a list. I'm reading a list of where to go and how to go through it. And I basically am going through cheat sheet. But at the same time, it's like, well, for certain games like that, you wouldn't need a cheat sheet. So, yeah, it's a lot. Oh, trust me, it's a lot. And I plan to spend this day on attempting to at least finish the first trial of Trials and Tribulations Revisited, otherwise known as the Steam version. I know there's the PS4 version, but it's like there's no real difference. Even though it's shinier and all that, but still, it's like. So why would I do that to myself when I could just say, okay, do the Steam version, get out of the way, knock it out, there you go. Plus, I also have a pocket I also have a game in my pocket that I seriously have to go back to. What that is, I'm not gonna enjoy going back to, because I got a couple I need to go back to, and it's gonna take a hell of a time trying to get back to where I last left off on, because there's a lot of games I've basically just left unfinished. I haven't abandoned them, I just left them unfinished. And oh man, that's gonna be a pain in the ass just to go back to. Only because my old data got corrupted. And nothing I can do can actually save it. Nor do I want to try to save it, because most of what I did was they didn't sound good. So another series I plan on going back to finishing is Warriors of Orochi. Even though it's long as hell, if it was under my old format, I could just knock 7 parts out easy. But since it's under a new format, when I record, I had to do it one video at a time, which would take 20, maybe 30 minutes a stage. And that would count as, if I were doing 4 stages, that would be at least almost 2 to 3 hours worth, give or take. Give or take what I gotta do in these stages. So I'm not gonna apologize for being so long-winded for this video, because, like I said, I'm actually tired of the news. Shit always happens in the news, because even more shit is happening every goddamn day. And there's nothing we can do except go through the slog and take a drink, breathe, and thank God we made it. That's all you can do. Because that's what I plan on doing. So anyway, I've been your friendly neighborhood Tenkaichi, PI7, and this was the Tenkai Talk. The new Tenkai Talk, which is more or less a better channel-oriented video than the last couple of Tenkai Talks were not channel-oriented. So until next time, I have been your friendly neighborhood Tenkaichi. Ichigo and Musko. And with that I say, Dai Tenso! Have a great weekend and enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday, or whatever you plan on doing on that day. Until then, see you then.